Consistency is not what you think. You might be feeling like you can't just be consistent because you can't check off every box of your habit tracker or of the every task that you plan to do. Well, what I've learned recently on my journey, consistency is not checking off every box. How do you know when you got consistent? It's simply when you're doing more of your good habits than your bad habits. If your day is filled up more with good habits than with bad habits, and it used to be just bad habits, well, bro, you're consistent. Even if you haven't checked off the 3 tasks that you planned for today. It sounds so strange, but I've been on self-improvement for a whole year now, and I've just started to understand the concept of consistency, which is so strange. This is actually so simple. If you're doing 80% of your habits within your day and just 20% of your habits for a week straight or for a month straight, well, bro, you are consistent. Yes, you're still falling in your bad habits, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still progressing when doing 80% of your good habits. Because before you might be doing 100% of your bad habits. So your day would only consist of bad habits. And now there's 80% of good habits. But chances are, if you're like me, a perfectionist, you just haven't felt satisfied at all when you checked off like 18 habits out of 20 and you missed the last 2 and you were like, oh damn, how could I, bro? But this is actually such a huge problem, especially with me, because it feels like I just have this persona of a perfectionist, and it just feels like I'm not making progress if I do not hit that 100% of good habits. And even if I complete 19 out of 20 good habits, I would still not feel satisfied, because I was like, oh, but I could do better and all of that, and at the end I'm just not happy, and it does not benefit me nor my self-improvement journey. Just a few months ago, I had such a severe problem with perfectionism. Right now, it's still there, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I remember when I was just starting out the gym, like around a year ago, I would not go to the gym. I would stay at home until I could find the perfect routine for me, the perfect optimized routine for me. And I used to look at the training splits. So we have like the bro split, then push pull legs and all of that. I was like, oh, but what would be the most like optimized for me? While I still haven't even stepped into the freaking gym, bro. So I'm still trying to get used to it and try to reframe my thinking and just get rid of my perfectionist persona. It was actually so hard. It drained me physically and mentally. It was actually so painful. But I believe that this belief of perfectionism, it was developed within me in my childhood. I remember when my mom used to just set unrealistic goals and expectations of me. And I actually got positively reinforced by that. Because I remember when I was around 8 years old, when I was swimming, and I won my event. But I just didn't get a personal best. It was actually a bit worse. And I was sitting there like, oh well, yeah, I won, but I didn't get a PB and my result was pretty bad. I remember my teammate saying that, oh, you are so selfish. But bro, that was actually my mom. It was my mom who made me think like that. And I remember after my race, I came up to her. She was like, oh yes, congratulations, you won. And I said to her, well, yes, but my result is pretty bad. And she was like, oh yeah, that's a good way of thinking. Of course, you need to strive for the best. And I was like, oh yes, very cool then. And it's a bad way to think. It just ruins your life. Like, this affected me so badly. It felt like it still feels like I just can't make progress because all of the people, everyone's just in front of me and I can't catch up to them. if I don't have like the perfect optimized routine for anything. I just can't believe how mentally draining perfectionism is, because you can't just decide, you can't make a decision, and this awful trait was 100% built in my childhood and developed in my childhood, as it might be for you. So I think it would be beneficial for you to investigate a little bit in your childhood and try to identify what moments could have affected that and developed this. It felt like I was so behind others, and the only way to catch up to them was to create this perfect optimized way of improving myself in any area of life. It's just so toxic. So it's like you just sit there, you want the best for you, but you can't decide how to start. Well, the best remedy for that, I believe, is simply starting things and accepting that you're just gonna do your best. You're not gonna be perfect. No one's perfect. You're not perfect. And you're gonna make mistakes. So I believe it's just accepting who you are and accepting that you're gonna make mistakes when you start, but you're still gonna try. Still gonna try your best. And that's the best thing you can do. It's crazy how being optimistic and positive can significantly change your life. Actually, what I believe and what really stopped me from getting rid of my perfectionism is the belief that we can actually achieve much more if we try to do everything perfectly. Because if you logically think about it, if you go into a task with the mindset that, okay, I'm gonna do this perfectly, well, arguably you're going to do the tasks much better than if you would just go in and be like, okay, well, whatever happens, I'll try to do my best. When you finish the task, you're like, okay, yeah, that's fair enough, that's good. But if you go into the task with a perfectionist mindset, you will try to improve. And that's what stopped me from actually improving myself. Even though, yes, this might be true, with a perfectionist mindset, if you are getting into the tasks, yeah, you might be more successful. But there's just two options for you. You either want to live a life with a perfectionist mindset and be very successful, or be a little bit worse, but absolutely love and enjoy your life and be happy and be fully satisfied, which actually at the end can probably compound and make you even more successful. It's like the analogy of depressed millionaire and a happy like homeless guy. So personally, I would choose the happy life. It's just so tiring. I'm tired of being too perfect and not even starting the tasks. Fuck. You know, I choose to just live a happy life. But I'm still struggling though. I truly believe that with a positive mindset I can achieve anything. So again, the best thing you can do is just be stoic about it and accept the fact that no one's is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nobody is, and nothing will be. And that's the beauty of life. And I believe that's what makes life exciting, is striving to your goal and mastering the skills that are important to be able to excel in your craft. But I would highly suggest and recommend to you to be happy and to not be a perfectionist. I was always thinking that nobody is perfect. It is so interesting because I truly believed that no one's perfect, but I still try to make myself perfect. I try to be perfect myself while I understood that others can be perfect. So that's it. I low-key got carried away with perfectionism while I was talking about consistency. But perfectionism is like a limited belief. Stops you from being satisfied for the progress that you're making. And I believe that it interconnects with each other. That's like the biggest problem, that you are not realizing that you are actually consistent, that you are actually making progress towards your goals. Amazing weather right now. Not too windy, not too hot. Just as I like it, you know. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, bro. I hope it was helpful. So that's it. Peace.